Hey guys, so I'm going to do a video just about a few things, mostly wives' tales about winter in Appalachia. So there is lots of wives' tales for Appalachia in general, especially wintertime. I've heard them, I've heard a lot, and I've heard some a few different ways, but for the most part, these are like the most common ones. The number one is like the persimmon seed. If you cut it open, and it has like a little shape that looks like a spoon, fork, or a knife. Each one of those mean different things. I think you have to cut open a few of them. Obviously, you can't just base it off one. Like it's got to be like the majority of the ones you cut open are this. So if it's a spoon, then that means that there's a lot of snow coming in the winter. If it's a fork, it's a mild winter, and if it's a knife, it's a piercing cold winter. I do have these wrote down because I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything. But yes, I've always heard that, and as far as I've ever known, that's been really accurate. We have not done one this year though, so I'll have to update you guys when we do. Another one is if the snow lays on the ground for 3 days, then it will snow again. Usually on that fourth day, it will snow again. And most of the time it's harder, or at least the same as what you got when it first snowed. It has always done that. If it lays for at least 3 days, in most places. And then if it, I think it's like if it lands on the side of a tree, then and stays on the side of a tree, it'll snow again within 48 hours. Then I have like a little recipe for like homemade snow cream. I don't know if you guys have ever made that or ever had that. I know that you can buy it too at the stores and stuff. This one is just fun, especially with kids to make. First of all, you want like a clean snow. You don't want to get the snow off the ground. You could get it, like some people make it off like their car where it falls in their car and stuff. Or you put a bowl out when it's snowing. You put a bowl out to catch it. How to make homemade snow cream. Yeah. So that's what we do is we put out a bowl, like however big size you want, and catch it. That way it's clean and stuff. And then all we put in it is condensed milk and a little vanilla extract just to give it a little bit of a flavor. I have actually had it with just the condensed milk, but that's up to you, I guess. Some people put sugar in it. I don't, because the condensed milk is really sweet. So you don't really need all of that in there. Or I don't think you do. And I actually had heard of people making that, but I had actually never made it until I met my husband. And he made it. He's made it a few times, and we make it with the kids. It's really fun for them. I think it's really like cool to go outside and catch the snow and make ice cream. So, but they, I don't know what I was gonna say. I totally just had like a missed thought. Oh, last winter there wasn't enough snow to really make it. We didn't have like big snows last year, which was kind of unfortunate because we moved back in February of last year to my childhood home, and I had spoke about that in one of my earlier videos. And we have like a big hill for sledding, and that's, we were hoping to be able to do that with the kids, but hopefully this year we'll get at least one good snow. I don't want a whole lot of bad snows. That way we can't get out or anything, but one good snow. I was trying to think something else. I don't know about you guys. I don't know where you live, if it snows enough to get out and play in or anything. Some winters can be really, really rough, and there's lots of snow, and then some winters, there's just a dusting or two here and there. So, but I was going to see what you guys sled on, okay? Because growing up, my parents never bought a sled, ever. I've never owned a sled. And we would slide down the hill on trash bags, or the big trash can lids, things like that. One year we went down on, like last year, my kids, we did do it, but it was more in the fall, like there was leaves, it was, kind of, a tote, like those plastic totes. My kids sit down in it, like and then they slide down through there. So, you don't have to buy a sled for the winter or the fall times. I guess a lot of people probably don't sled during the fall times, but so anyways, so that's, in case you guys don't have a sled and you want to go sledding, you can definitely use stuff that's around the house. Another thing that indicates if it's going to be a bad or rough winter is the woolly worms. They're brown and black. Now, I've heard this two ways. Primarily, I've heard it one way, but I have heard the other one a time or two. Some people say that it depends on how long and how big the woolly worms are. If they're big woolly worms, then it's going to be a rough winter. But the way that I have always heard it is the band of black, how big the black bands are. If they're bigger, then it's going to be a harsh winter. A lot of acorns on the ground tells you that there's a hard winter coming. And then one last thing that I was going to say on this topic is, well, my mother has always told me this, like I grew up knowing this. We live in a holler. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's pretty much like you drive in and the mountains do like this, and so it connects and there's no way out. And I've always heard that if a storm is coming and it's coming down the holler, it's going to be really, really bad because it gets trapped and it has nowhere to go. But if it's coming up the holler, then it's not going to be that bad because, it can get out. So that's something I've always heard, and that has always actually been true. So, now I live back where I did growing up, and I think of that every time we have a storm, and I go look so that I can try to prepare for what's ahead, because that has always been a true sign of how bad the storm is going to be. So that's just a few of, I know this video is pretty short, but I know that's just a few of the Appalachian wives' tales. If you guys would like more or would like to know more about winter or anything in Appalachia, let me know. I just wanted to throw that together. Has my voice been cracking this whole time? I'm sorry, I don't know why it's cracking. Anyways, so yeah, that's a little one that's just a little bit different than my basic videos. So, well, I hope that was interesting, and we'll see you guys in the next one.